Imagine a city skyline dotted with gleaming towers, modern apartments, rooftop gardens, gyms, co-working spaces. Developers call it the future of housing, build to rent, BTR. The idea is simple. Instead of individual landlords renting out flats, large institutional investors and developers build entire blocks exclusively for long-term rental. On paper, it's a win-win. More housing stock, professionally managed with better amenities. But here's the catch. As these glossy BTR complexes rise in London, Manchester, and Birmingham, so do the complaints. Critics argue that instead of making housing more affordable, BTR may be entrenching inequality, driving up rents, catering to higher-income tenants, and sidelining the very people it was meant to help. So, is the UK's build-to-rent revolution fixing the housing crisis or fueling it? What is build-to-rent? The BTR model took off in the UK after the 2012 Montague Review, which encouraged institutional investment in rental housing. Unlike traditional buy-to-let models, where individuals purchase flats to rent them out, BTR involves large developers building entire schemes specifically for rental. Scale: typically hundreds of units in one development. Tenancy: longer leases and more tenant-friendly contracts. Management: on-site property managers providing services like repairs and maintenance. Amenities: gyms, lounges, workspaces, communal gardens. Amenities rarely offered in standard rentals. By 2025, the UK has over 270,000 BTR homes completed or in the pipeline, with London leading the way, followed by regional hubs like Manchester and Birmingham. The case for BTR: why it gained popularity. Supporters of the model argue that it addresses several chronic issues in the UK's housing system. Supply boost. The UK has faced a housing shortage for decades, with demand consistently outstripping supply. BTR delivers thousands of new homes quickly, often in city centers where demand is highest. Professional management tenants often complain about unresponsive private landlords. BTR offers consistent standards, faster repairs, and regulated tenancy agreements. Flexibility for a mobile workforce. With younger professionals delaying home ownership, long-term, high-quality rentals fit modern lifestyles better than unstable short-lets. Economic attractiveness. For investors like pension funds, BTR offers stable, long-term returns in a sector with resilient demand. At first glance, BTR seems like a rare housing policy win, creating supply, supporting tenants, and satisfying investors. Where the criticism comes in. But here's where reality bites. Despite its promises, the build-to-rent model faces mounting criticism from housing experts, tenants, and local communities. 1. Affordability issues. Many BTR developments market themselves as luxury rentals, with high rents that exclude middle and low-income tenants. In cities like Manchester, rents in BTR schemes can be 20 to 30% higher than comparable private rentals nearby. Instead of easing pressure, critics argue BTR risks pushing average rents up across entire neighborhoods. 2. Concentration in prime areas. Developers focus on profitable zones, city centers, and regeneration areas, while ignoring suburban or rural regions where affordable housing is desperately needed. This creates clusters of high-cost rental blocks, while outer areas remain underserved. 3. Erosion of community. With transient, professional-focused tenants, critics worry BTR projects fail to integrate into local communities. Amenities are often inward-facing, rooftop gardens, gyms, co-working lounges, rather than designed to support neighborhood life. 4. Investor-driven priorities. Because projects are funded by institutional investors, profit often outweighs social benefit. Promises of affordable units within BTR schemes sometimes get watered down or negotiated away in planning processes. 5. Impact on ownership. Opportunities. Critics argue BTR reduces the stock of homes available for purchase by individuals, making it harder for first-time buyers to step onto the housing ladder. Voices from the ground housing campaigners say that while BTR is adding stock, it's not adding the right kind of stock. Tenants complain they're paying premium rents for amenities they rarely use. Local councils welcome the investment but worry about affordability clauses being diluted. Experts argue that unless BTR is balanced with social and affordable housing, it risks becoming a two-tier system. Luxury rentals for the few, housing insecurity for the many. A tenant in Manchester's city centre put it bluntly, "Yes, my flat is modern, but I'm paying almost half my salary just on rent. This isn't sustainable." Policy gaps and government stance. The UK government has supported BTR as part of its broader housing strategy, but regulation lags behind its rapid growth. Affordable housing quotas. Some BTR projects are required to include affordable units, but definitions of affordable are contested. Often it means rent set at 80% of market rate, which is still unaffordable for many. Planning incentives. Councils grant favorable terms to attract BTR investment, sometimes at the expense of social housing obligations. Taxation and incentives. Investors enjoy stable returns, while individual buy-to-let landlords face more taxation and stricter regulation. The result? A system where institutional landlords thrive, but tenants feel squeezed. Could BTR be reformed to work better? Critics say the model doesn't need to be scrapped, but reshaped. Possible reforms include stronger affordability requirements mandating a significant share of units be let at social or genuinely affordable rents. Geographic balance, incentivizing developers to build BTR in underserved areas, not just profitable city centers. Tenant protections. Extending rights around rent increases, eviction protections, and lease lengths to prevent exploitation. Integration with social housing linking BTR growth with parallel investment in council and housing association homes. Community-focused design, encouraging developments that contribute to local communities, not just self-contained luxury villages. The bigger picture. What's at stake? The UK faces a generational housing challenge. Home ownership rates have fallen from 70% in the early 2000s to around 63% today, while private renting has surged. For younger generations, renting is no longer a stopgap, but a long-term reality. If the build-to-rent model continues to expand without reform, it could reshape the very fabric of British housing, entrenching a society where secure, affordable homes are a privilege, not a right. The build-to-rent boom started with a promise: more homes, better quality, modern living. But as criticism mounts, the question is whether BTR is solving the crisis or simply repackaging it in glass and steel. So, what do you think? Should the government enforce stricter affordability quotas on BTR developers? Are these projects a stepping stone to a healthier rental market, or a trap locking tenants into unaffordable rents? And most importantly, is the future of UK housing in renting, or should ownership remain the ultimate goal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you believe housing should be more than just an investment. It should be a home.